In this session, I'm going to answer some questions on algebra, so stay tuned with me. Question number 1. X to the power of 3, y to the power of negative 3 equals 8. What is the value of y over x? If we have a negative power, y to the power of negative 3, we can write it as 1 over y to the power of 3. So x to the power of 3 multiplied by y to the power of negative 3 equals 8. We can write it as x to the power of 3 and drop it down. Drop y to the power of negative 3 down. It will be y to the power of 3. Then we can write it because we have the same power. So write it as x over y all to the power of 3. X over y all to the power of 3 equals 8. So we can write it as 2 to the power of 3. So x over y to the power of 3 equals 2 to the power of 3. Because the power is equal to the power, so the base is equal to the base. And the power is odd. Because if the power was even, so the base is equal to positive or negative the base. But here we have 3 and 3. So in this case, x over y equals 2. And I want to get y over x to, so find the reciprocal of 2 over 1. It's 2 over 1. So y over x is going to be half. In this example, we have x plus 1 all to the power of 2 is one of the factors of the expression x to the power of 2 minus 1 all to the power of 2. Then the other factor is what? X to the power of 2 minus 1 all to the power of 2 means x to the power of 2 minus 1 multiplied by x to the power of 2 minus 1. Do you know why? Like 5 to the power of 2 is 5 times 5. I did the same. X to the power of 2 minus 1 all to the power of 2. I wrote it as x to the power of 2 minus 1 multiplied by x to the power of 2 minus 1. Then here we have a factorizing. It's a difference between two squares. So we'll write it as x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. I factorized it. Then factorize the second expression, x to the power of 2 minus 1 is going to be x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. As you see here, we have x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1. So we can write instead of that x minus 1 all to the power of 2. And also we have x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. So we can write it as x plus 1 all to the power of 2. So if x plus 1 to the power of 2 is one of the factors. So the other factor is going to be x minus 1 to the power of 2. So we are going to write here x plus 1, here is x plus 1 all to the power of 2. Here in this example, we have y to the power of 2 minus 50y minus 51, and I want to factorize it. So we are searching for two numbers. Their product is negative 51, and here is the sum. The sum is negative 50. So the two numbers are going to be negative 51 and 1. Because negative 51 times 1 is negative 51. And negative 51 plus 1 is going to be negative 50. So here we are going to factorize it as y minus 51 and y plus 1. That's it. Here, we want to factorize. It's 2 y to the power of 2 minus 20y. Here it's y plus 48. Before factorizing, take the highest common factor. And the highest common factor here is 2. So write 2. And then here you have in between the brackets y to the power of 2. And here minus 10y. And plus 48 divided by 2 is 24. Then write 2 as it. Two numbers, their product 24. Here is the product. And here is the sum. The sum is negative 10. So they are going to be, write 2 as it. Then write y and y. The two numbers, when we multiply them, we get 24. And when adding them, we get negative 10, negative 6, and 4. So right here, negative 6, and here, negative 4. That's it. Here in this example, y to the power of 5 minus y, so we can take y as a factor. You are left with y to the power of 4 minus 1. Then it's factorizing difference between two squares, y to the power of 4 minus 1. So take the square root of y is going to be y to the power of 2 here and here, and minus 1, right, plus 1 and minus 1. We haven't finished yet because y to the power of 2 minus 1 can be factorized. Can be factorized as y plus 1 and y minus 1. So we ended up with y multiplied by y to the power of 2 plus 1 multiplied by y plus 1 multiplied by y minus 1. That's it. Here in this example, we have x as a factor. So we are going to take it, then write in the brackets x to the power of 2 and then plus 2x and then plus 12 here. And here we have also, sorry, I forgot to write 8 here. So what is the type of factorizing? I forget to write 8, so we need to repeat it. So it's factorizing by grouping. We're going to take x to the power of 3 plus 2x to the power of 2, and here plus 12x plus 8. What is the highest common factor here? The highest common factor is x to the power of 2. Then we are left with, here it's a 3. I forget to write it, sorry for that. So it's x to the power of 2, you are left with 3x plus 2. And here we have 4 as a factor, you are left with 3x plus 2. Now we have two terms. The two terms is x to the power of 2 multiplied by 3x plus 2 plus 4 multiplied by 3x plus 2. So here we are going to take 3x plus 2 as a factor here because it's repeated. So we're going to write 3x plus 2 multiplied by, you are left with here x to the power of 2 plus 4. That's it. If x plus x multiplied by y equals 3 and x plus y to the power of 2 equals 16, I want to get x squared plus y squared. So here we want to expand x plus y to the power of 2 equals 16. How can we expand it? It's first square x to the power of 2 and second square, it's y to the power of 2. Then first times second times 2, it's 2xy. I expanded. All of them equal 16. And we have xy here is 3. Xy equals 3. So we are going to substitute here xy is 3. So write x to the power of 2 as it plus 2 multiplied by xy multiplied by 3 plus y to the power of 2 all is equal to 16. So 2 times 3 is 6. We have x to the power of 2 plus y to the power of 2 plus 6 equals 16. Then move 6 to the next side. Then x to the power of 2 plus y to the power of 2 is going to be 10. 16 minus 6 equals 10. That's it. Without using the calculator, if x equals square root of 5 minus 2 all raised to the power of 7, and y is equal to root 5 plus 2 all raised to the power of 7, then xy equals what? Xy, it's root 5 minus 2 all raised to the power of 7 multiplied by root 5 plus 2 all raised to the power of 7. As you see here, we have the same power. So we can multiply and raise the product to the power of 7. We are going to multiply root 5 minus 2 multiplied by, it's root 5 plus 2 multiplied by root 5 plus 2 all raised to the power of 7. Okay, how can we multiply them? It's sum of two terms multiplied by the difference between them. So in this case, you are going to multiply the first by the first and the second by the second. Root 5 multiplied by root 5 is going to be equal 5, and negative 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, all raised to the power of 7. So 5 minus 4 is 1, raised to the power of 7 equals 1. Find the real number whose double increased by 1, then its multiplicative inverse. So find the real number. I don't know the number, so let the number bx. Let the number bx, because I don't know the number. Who's double? Do you know what is the double of this number? Its double is 2x. The number is x, its double is 2x. Its double increased by 1, then its multiplicative inverse. So 2x, the double, as is written here, the double, minus multiplicative inverse equals 1. The double of the number increased by 1, then its multiplicative inverse. So what is the double of the number? The double is 2x minus. What is the multiplicative inverse of x? So the number is x, its double is 2x, its multiplicative inverse is 1 over x. So 2x minus 1 over x equals 1. That is the right translation of this sentence. The real number whose double is 2x minus, because it's increased by 1, then its multiplicative inverse. Then tied it up. 2x minus 1 over x equals 1. Multiply all terms of this equation by x, just to get rid of this x. So multiply by x, multiply by x. So let's multiply by x here. So we're going to multiply by x here, and x here, and x here. So 2x times x will be 2x to the power of 2. And here 1 over x times x, they are going to be cancelled, so minus 1 equals 1 times x, it's x. Move x to the next side, so 2x to the power of 2 minus x minus 1 equals 0. Then factorize. 2x to the power of 2. We can get 2x to the power of 2 from multiplying the 2x by x. Then minus 1. We can get minus 1 from minus 1 and 1. And pay attention that the product of extremes plus the product of means equals negative x. And if you did it, if you multiplied 2x by negative 1, it's negative 2x. The extremes, it's to negative 2x. And the means 1 times x, it's x. So it's a negative x, so I'm right. Then here we have two solutions. The first one is 2x plus 1 equals 0. From that, move 1 to the next side. So 2x equals negative 1 divided by 2 divided by 2. So x equals half. X equals half. That is the first number. And here we have x minus 1 equals 0. From that, x equals 1. So we have two solutions, half and 1. And if you want to check it, the double of a half, the double is 2. The double of half is 2 here. The double of half is 1. X equals negative half here. If you want to check it, the double of negative half is multiplied by 2, it's negative 1, and its multiplicative inverse is negative 2. So the double increased by its multiplicative inverse by 1. And here 1, the double of 1 is 1, and its multiplicative inverse of 1, the multiplicative inverse of 1 is 1. So 2 increased by 1, increased then 1 by 1. Here in this example, we have root 7 plus root 6 all to the power of 8 multiplied by root 7 minus root 6 all to the power of 8. Because we have the same power, so we are going to write root 7 plus root 6 multiplied by root 7 minus root 6 all to the power of 8. Do multiplying firstly. Root 7 multiplied by root 7, it's 7 minus root 6 times root 6 is 6 all to the power of 1. So 7 minus 6 is 1 to the power of 1 equals 1. Without using the calculator. Here in this example, what is the value of x? 7 to the power of x minus 1 equal 3 to the power of x minus 1. And 7 is equal to 3. It's impossible. But 7 to the power of 0 is 1 and 3 to the power of 0 is 1. That means the power is equal to 0. So x minus 1 equals 0. From that, x equals 1. If x minus 3 to the power of 0, okay, equals 1, what is the value of x? You know, any base to the power of 0 is 1, except 0 to the power of 0. 0 to the power of 0 is undetermined value. And when you wrote it on the calculator, you will find it's a math error because we couldn't divide by 0. X minus 3 to the power of 0 is 1. That means x can be any value except 3. So x in this case belongs to our difference 3. If x to the power of 2 equals x, what is the value of x? Move x to the next side is going to be x to the power of 2 minus x equals 0. Then take x as a factor, you are left with x minus 1 equals 0. Then we have two solutions. The first one is x is equal to 0. And the second solution, x minus 1 equals 0. So from that, x equals 1. If 2x to the power of 2 plus 7 minus 4 equals 0, how can we factorize it? You know, 2x to the power of 2 came from what? 2x and x. Now, negative 4. I want to write two numbers. Their product, negative 4. And when multiplying the extremes and the means, we must get 7x. So we will write here plus 4 and minus 1. Okay, so negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. If you want to check it and multiply 2x by 4, it's 8x. And negative 1 times x, it's negative x equals 7x. So I'm right here. Then we have two solutions. The first one is 2x minus 1 equals 0. And from that, 2x equals 1 divided by 2 divided by 2. So x equals half. And the second solution, x plus 4 equals 0. From that, x equals negative 4. And this one, x to the power of 2 plus 9 equals 0. We couldn't factorize it. And if you moved 9 to the next side, you'll get negative 9. There is no square root for a negative number. So solution set equals 5 in this case. But if x to the power of 2 equals 9, we can move 9 to the next side. It will be x to the power of 2 minus 9 equals 0. Then factorize it, x difference between two squares, x plus 3 and x minus 3 equals 0. Then here we have two solutions. The first one is x plus 3 equals 0. From that, x equals negative 3. And here x equals 3. And because the solution is in n, so we are going to take 3 only, because 3 belongs to natural numbers and negative 3 doesn't belong. So here the solution set is 3. In the last example, we have x minus 12 over x equals 1. So we are going to multiply all terms of the equation. It's x minus 12 over x equals 1. Multiply all terms of the equation by x here, and multiply by x here and x here. X times x is x to the power of 2. And here we have x at the top, x at the bottom, so one cancel the other out. So we are left with negative 12 equals 1 times x, which is x. Move x to the next side, so x to the power of 2 minus x minus 12 equals 0. Then factorize. 12 be x, two numbers, their product negative 12 and their sum negative 1. They are negative 4 and 1. So x minus 4, x plus 1 equals 0. From that, x negative 4 equals 0. So x is equal to 4. And here, x plus 1 equals 0. From that, x is equal to negative 1. If 3 to the power of x equals 7 and 7 to the power of y equals 9, okay, what is the value of xy? What is the value of xy equals what? It's a given information. 3 to the power of x equals 7. I don't know what is the value of x. And 7 to the power of y equals 9. I don't know what is the value of y. We can write 3 to the power of x, this information given for us equals 7. Okay. And we are going to raise here 3 to the power of x. We are going to write here y here and write y here. We are going to raise both sides to the power of y. So if we have two powers like 3 to the power of x to the power of y, so multiply the two powers, it will be 3 to the power of xy is equal to 7 to the power of y, and 7 to the power of y equals 9. So we're going to write instead of 7 to the power of y, we're going to write 9. So 3 to the power of xy equals, instead of 7 to the power of y, we're going to write 9. So 3 to the power of xy equals 9 can be written as 3 to the power of 2. So xy in this case is equal to 2. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this session. See you later. Goodbye.